Hello. All right. Hi. How are you guys doing? So, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Lisa Phillips. I have been on YouTube since 2013. The other side of YouTube is my real estate investing side. I target Black professionals and we invest in Black neighborhoods. We're actually Black people who are doing the actual work of investing in our Black communities. Imagine that, right? And we are profiting very well because when you honor the people at the bottom, you are justly rewarded monetarily and in other ways. Um, I'm also a best-selling author, investing in rental properties for beginners. If you go to my other platform, you'd see it's quite large. Large enough. 11,000 people in my Facebook group, 20,000 on my YouTube page and Facebook and Twitter and whatnot. But still, that is the other side of what I do. But I also have the spiritual side, which is what this is. And over the last 4 years, I've learned how to deepen my ability to channel different beings, being my ancestors, angels, as I'm an angelic healer, medium, and channeler, as well as other beings. Usually I take it easy on you guys, but you're gonna hear it today. You can channel dragons, mermaids, fairies, gnomes, like if it's in a science fiction or galactic beings, there have been galactic beings who have stepped forward. Maybe about every 6 months, I meet a new one who'll step forward. And I see them as energy, or I'll see a vision of them, and they're like, "Hey, you were contracted when you got to a certain frequency to work with us, and we'd help get you to the next level." I don't know if other people did that, but I did, and I think it's sort of cool that like my spirit guide made it like when I came to Earth, if I got to certain places, like my spirit, like uh this person steps forward, and then this person steps forward, and then this person. I was like, does everyone do that? Because that's really smart. So that is what I do. I like doing ancestral healing because a lot of people do their psychic energy readings, and I just don't like the people who just do their own psychic energy readings. But then there's people who channel like the angels or galactic beings. I don't really like to follow them because galactic beings have their own agendas, and in most ways, they're not really always just telling the truth. They have their own, not that they're lying, but they just have their own little slant to things. And since I do know the truth, I'm like, you're not going to mention that? I'm not listening to this. And angels, I love, but there's a lot of people who channel angels. But when they give energy readings, it is so high level because they have not had an earthly experience. So it basically sounds like you're reading the Bible, like, oh, just stay in love and light. But like I like to tell people, if you've had an earthly experience, you know how hard it is to keep your heart open and to keep loving, right? Like that advice is right. It is the right advice ultimately, but they don't know that that is a very hard thing to do, right? Like they understand and they want us to do it. So this is my little cat. So my ancestors, I'm melanated. I would love to see more people who are melanated giving their ancestral advice. But because I'm melanated, if you're only following spiritual teachers and leaders and they have no melanin, you're only getting 20% of the story, right? It's a 20%. It's so hard. What's hard, Jess? You're only getting 20% of the story. Oh, amen to that. It's so hard. No, you know what? It's not like 10 minutes a day for 10 minutes a day. If you look at my YouTube channel, I have an introduction to channeling class. Like it's literally 10 minutes a day. Now, you showing up the 10 minutes, that is the variable. But can you do it within that time? And some of you will excel a lot faster than I did. I had to work with it to get it too. Stay in love and light. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Oh, yeah. And so it's cool to follow that advice, but it's also we need to know they haven't had an earthly experience. So when it's hard for me to open my chakra and stay in love and light, like I'm okay with that. Like I'm on Earth. Have you not seen Earth? People out to get me, okay? Like I don't really think that, but like before I became enlightened, like that's the world I'm in. It's like us versus them. Like you always had to fight, right? And so fight racism, fight men, fight people who are trying to put me in a particular place, right? Because I'm someone like wherever I go, people try to place me, meaning, oh, you're a girl. Oh, you talk like this. Oh, you sound like this. Oh, you do this. So you should be this. So my whole life, I was just like fighting, right? And so for you to be like, stay in love and light, I'm like, I don't trust those people, right? And so they give advice. The advice is correct. at a higher dimension. But in this 3D dimension, I like my ancestors' guidance, which tends to be a lot more practical, ground to earth. So just so you know, my ancestral guidance, like everyone's ancestors are different, and you really should know your lineage, right? So my lineage and my ancestors, we are magicians, we are teachers, we are warriors, and we are healers. Okay, that's what we do. We travel around the galaxy doing this. I've seen my star family, I've spoken to my star. This is what we do on this earth. I've met 3 people from my home planet, the Plutorium. Everyone's from, like, all of you guys, every single one, you're from a different galaxy. Every single one of you guys. Every single one. It is amazing if you set the intention right now to meet people who are in your soul tribe, because it's really interesting seeing these people who are so similar. So I've met the people, not only my ancestors, but like I've met 3 people, 2 guys and 1 girl. The girl was funny. We shared like like half of the same name. And I'm an engineer. She's an electrical engineer. It was just really funny. Like, I'm really practical. She's really practical. So it was funny. I was like, oh, soul family. So we come here, we get that electrical engineering degree, don't we? And the 2 guys I met, they both own their own businesses. One is a beast real estate commercial broker, and the other one is has his own company. He's like 26, and he was like, no. And we're both like, understanding. So it's really cool to know where you come from, because when you set, all you have to do literally right now, the power of an intention is so big. Just say, I'm setting the intention to meet more of my soul tribe and family, and you're going to know, because you're going to have so many characteristics physically and just mentally. You're going to like basically walk a parallel life. Oh yeah, definitely. So Jess says it's cool. She wants to know her ancestral lineage. Girl, it's so important, because it's gonna make why you show up and act the way you do. It's gonna make it make sense. Like, oh, that's why I fight so much. Oh my gosh, that's why, that's why I manifest so easily. Because man, I'm a little too good at it. It's just like, oh, that's why, I have this investing platform. That's why I was able to take a very complex subject. And the thing is, they read my book. They're like, I know how to do it. Like, that is a soul level gift, right? And so it's really, so I would set that intention, but it's really important to know who your ancestors are, because that is who you are. And I like giving their advice, because my ancestors are like me, where they're very practical, ground to earth. They know what needs to be done and what we need to do. They talk to people like they're soldiers. Oh, okay, Mercury. Okay. All right. Mercury just says to answer, she was in my last live where I did the energy reading for the month. Tell me your name. Unless you want me to call you Mercury, that's fine too. She said she's always been drawn to Mercury and pop media, like Sailor Mercury, but I've recently started studying alchemy, and it just came to me naturally. I wouldn't be surprised if you're a really good communicator. I'm also gender fluid and a shapeshifter, so I just embody hermetic properties naturally. Okay, we're gonna have to talk about the shapeshifting. That's cool. Okay, and I'll keep calling you Mercury, okay? So Wednesday, which is ruled by Mercury, must be really, really, really good day for you, right? Like, your communication skills are just off the charts. And I really want to find out about shapeshifting. I'm one of those people where, like, I have to measure like the different things I want to do. So like, next is lucid dreaming. Next is telekinesis. I was working with Merlin, but then I stopped because it took a lot of time to, like, what we have to do is like format my energy and my energetics and the DNA to activate to be able to do it. And so I'm doing all those things, but the thing is, all of them take time. So I had to like go, oh, I can't do this right now. I can't do this. I have to focus. But shapeshifting is sort of it. Cool. Like, I want to find out more about how that looks in 3D versus the 4D to 5D. So we'll talk, okay? So yeah, that is why I do this. And it's just important for you to understand that different realms have different ways of going about things, right? Like, if this was fairies, they're going to do things differently. And I just love my ancestors because they had a human experience. They're badass. I made it here. So, they're survivors. They know what they're doing. They're magic and they're amazing. The ones that I see are all Black women. They have dreads. So it's funny. I got these at 18. I just chopped my hair off and I didn't even think twice. And then now that I can see them, just every now and then they come to me and I'm like, oh, so this is just family, right? And it's good to know those things about why you're urged to do certain things if it's part of your lineage, okay? So the weekly energy reading for January 4th through the 9th. Sorry, my cat sheds, and I think one of his hairs got in my mouth. I'm sorry. Okay. They're saying for this week, focus on doing your best even during trying times. Your spiritual strength has been cultivated, and the ability to tap in it during stressful times will be your greatest asset. Guys, y'all know how that is. We're going to be seeing some stuff. And if you do, being able to go, instead of going, oh, I'm scared and whatnot, being able to flip that script or call on your own strength or even calling on your spiritual strength is just going to be a big thing this week. I would look at the monthly because we went a little bit more in depth in this one. So for this one, it really is just, it's all about the spiritual strength you're cultivating. So what's spiritual strength? Spiritual strength is when things look bad or hopeless or you're scared or fearful, learning how to tap into that thing that lets you go, you know what? Whatever's going on doesn't have to be it. I can always seek my guidance from a higher source. Half of you guys are religious, so that's God, Holy Spirit, and Jesus. Good, right? Like I call on them too, not like only, I call on other beings as well. But being able to understand that you have the ability and the strength to do it, right? The strength to do it means instead of going down that fear narrative path or going down that path of like, oh my God, this is going to happen and there's going to be a food shortage and this and that. It is going, okay, there is, but I'm still going to be okay because X got me. Spirit got me. I can do this. I can manifest the life I want. That's how I do it. Like if you're listening to me, Lisa is where she's at because of her ability to manifest and understand she manifests her life, right? But for other people, it's like God. For me, it's just like, look, I don't like this. I'm going to manifest what I do want. And then I'm going to put as much power and frequency and energy into that until I manifest it, period. Right? That is my method of staying high. That's my spirit, one of my spiritual strengths. Like I know if I didn't want to manifest, I could just call on my spirit team and spirit guides. But I'm a manifester. I like doing it because every time I do it, I go deeper and I learn something. And I'm like, oh, if you put this and this together, and if you put this and this, I got a whole laboratory, okay? I got a whole laboratory and I'm learning. So that is my way. I like doing it, even if it's for small things. So I like seeing how different things work. And through your experience, you start learning, oh, if you put these two elementals together and it comes to this thing, it is so powerful, right? Like I like that. So that's my way of doing it. But other people have spiritual strength in that they can catch themselves and they can go, you know what? We're not going down there. I'm going to say this, right? Oh, I wish that guy would. No, I'm not going to say that. We're going to say, I hope that he becomes a better person. So some of you guys have that spiritual strength where you can rewrite the narrative before you go bouncy bar that path that's very low vibrational and lowers your frequency. And some other of you guys are the kind of people where it's just like, you go pray, you talk to God, God shows you his love, Jesus shows you his love. You are good to go and you have no worries. So whatever your source of spiritual, and people who are Wiccan, right? They're sort of like me, like they know they can just do a moon meditation and really get in touch with that. And then that can make them feel really good and burn a light candle, of peace and protection. So, so that is whatever it is, whatever your spiritual go-to is, it's just going to be really important that you learn this week how to call on it, because we're going to have, and this is spiritual warfare that we're in right now. So you being spiritually able to know how to tap into that's important. Now, the people who follow me the most, you guys are already very at a high spiritual level. So everything I'm saying is just like, girl, I know this and I know how to do this. But there are some out there who are beginners, and it's just always good, I think, to delineate it that this is a skill set. This is a skill set of a spiritual warrior. This is spiritual warfare. They want us to think that we have nothing else except them and this, and whatever the government tells us. They don't want us to believe that there's something more out there that can deliver us from them or from anything that's bad. And that's how spiritual warfare is fought. And honestly, they're winning. A lot of people incarnated on this earth to help raise the vibration. And I'm like, y'all came all the way down here and y'all just got sucked right up. And if I try to talk about this, y'all look at me like I'm crazy. Whew. The devil is good, isn't he? Like, He's not playing. So that is what's going on for the week. Make sure you learn how to call upon your spiritual strength. This is something we're going to need. You know, things are going to get quite, I mean, there's two things. There were timelines of bad things that could happen. So if you look at my earlier ones, I'm like, get food, get preparation, because at that frequency and vibration, that was a narrative that was true and guidance we received. Now, with the rising frequency, not all timelines can exist with the rising frequency. But, you know, the religious side, they call them tribulations. Us, we're just calling it the Ascension period. We're going to be seeing some things this year. A lot of things need to be destroyed and come down in order for us to go into this new world new. And so because of that, there's going to be a lot of disclosures that's going to rock people. Jess said, yes, it's truly spiritual warfare. People don't know. I know our warriors are going without a whimper. They don't even know they're being bested. They don't even know. I'm like, oh my God, the devil doesn't even need to work hard at this. Like, you guys are just like giving in because you don't know and haven't done the enlightenment and you haven't searched and you're not listening to your inner voice and guidance. So because of that, they're like, yeah, take this vaccine. You're like, okay. They're like, no. You won't be ascending if you take it. You won't ascend. Oh, and he'll have you. And then he'll keep you deeper entrenched in that fear mentality because all you'll have is him, because it's going to disconnect you from source. It's going to disconnect you from God and spirit. So then you really will believe everything they say and that there's no higher power. So the spiritual warfare is real. I thought it would actually be like a war where you fight, and that does happen in other realms. But this spiritual warfare is really just like you waking up to your spirit and knowing that you exist and that the universe has faith and trust in you and that there's a higher power and purpose that can deliver you. It's easy. I'm firmly entrenched, but there's so many people who are like, if they say this is going to happen, it's going to happen. And they don't believe that they can change or create their reality. You know, they never believe that they're a divine being and all those other things. So thank you guys so much. I hope this is helpful. So a couple things going on. I do energy healings. Just had one with a client last Monday, which I really enjoyed. We talked business, divine feminine, dating, whatnot. We were channeling and healing. So I really enjoyed it. I'm working on 2 workshops. The first workshops I'm in the middle of, I just did the first one, the detox and cleanse. And that one is for my activating your light body. We'll do the actual light body activations on Thursday, but we have to prepare our body because out of all the things I've done, this is very, 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 very high energy. Now, once you do it on the other side, you're going to be emitting a higher frequency than everyone else in the room. But I just did day 1, which is the detox and cleanse and raising of the vibration. Tomorrow, we're going to do the DNA activations that you can redo over and over again so that you can keep activating your DNA to as far as you need to go and keep activating it, which activates your spiritual gifts and abilities. And then we're going to do the light body activation. So that's one workshop I'm doing this week. And I think in 2 weeks, so I like to do them every 1 to 2 weeks, I'm going to do a workshop on just like divine feminine, femininity, and dating. So basically divine feminine and magic for unlimited dating opportunities and for you to actually like dating like I am, right? Because you don't know if I do anything, I'm just going to put some manifestations behind it. I'm just walk into things and be like, oh, I hope this goes okay. No, I made intentions. I done set it up. I had made a goal. Like I walk in the energy of what I want when I walk into things. So when I did that with the dating and combining it with the femininity, I'm noticing that it's sort of amazing how my intentions are attracting to me what I want, but my feminine energy is attracting like people. I mean, like you got to understand it's bigger than just the people I'm actively dating, right? But it's bigger than that. So I'm going to do a workshop on that because if you use these 2 tricks, you know, it really increases your attraction energy and it's really fun. Like, and it's amazing. Girl needs some help in that area. Girl, don't we all? But I've been a student the last 1.5 years. So I would love to share what I've learned because it is amazing. And here's the deal. I don't have to share this information with anybody, but I'm just like, we need to change. So no, I'm going to share it with anybody who's interested. So those are the 2 workshops. Be on the lookout for a link if you want to do the workshop on the divine feminine and dating. those are just 1 day workshops, but you have access for life. And yeah, you can still join the light body activation one. You would just want to do the detox and cleanse today and Wednesday before Thursday came, so that you at least got a good 2 days of cleansing of your energy and detoxing, so that the activation of your multidimensional, high dimensional light body is not as violent. Okay, so it's an easier thing, right? Even if you wanted to like eat fruits and vegetables. I remember when I did it, they suggested it. I was like, I don't need that. I do healings every day, and I didn't. I was like, oh, okay. I was a little too arrogant. They tell you to, do your detox and cleanse before we do it. Do your detox and cleanse. Oh, hey, Samantha. Nice seeing you. So I actually did a healing session with Samantha too. That was really fun. You should join her video. Samantha, you can put a link to it, but Samantha's on Instagram. Go ahead and put a link to it. She has one of the oracles we've been looking for. She's she's a poet and writer, but she also has a book on being an oracle, because I found when I did the healing with her, that's her lineage. Also, mermaids are in her past life and lineage. And tarot reading. So when she does the tarot reading, she picks up on so much because that is in her lineage, and it's really cool to be in her oracle class, and it's really cool to see her, even if she didn't know like specifically, following that internal guidance and getting there. So go ahead and post a link to your Facebook group if you'd like people to join, Samantha. So yeah, that's it for today. And the other day I did a video. It was like 30 minutes, but it cut off on 17 minutes. It was Divine Feminine and Dating. So I'm going to go ahead and redo it. It's really unfortunate. It's a little annoying because, I don't know if you guys realize, but doing things like at my energy level, it takes a lot of energy. Like when I come on and I can be pretty clear and articulate and go and just flow, I can't be tired to do that, right? And so it takes energy to be able to flow and be in that flow and be downloading, processing, experience my experience versus whatever my spirit guides will give me at the time. So doing a whole 30 minutes again is, but right now the message I'm getting is that it's all about the Divine Feminine. So she who knows the Divine Feminine rules the world, because so many people don't. Now, I want as many people as possible, because we just need to get back to source. And when we know ourselves, the men around us do better. So I'm going to go into that. So thank you guys so much.